Well, greetings to you, my friends, wherever you're viewing from. Welcome to another episode of Bayou Gold Guy. I am Bayou Gold Guy, and you may notice we are dressed a little differently today with our attire for Cowboys. That's right. We beat the Tampa Bay Bucks and retired Tom Brady, and yeah, 31 years waiting for them to possibly do something again. We're going to San Francisco this weekend, and like I said, I haven't watched any of this crap for over 5 years, so I've kind of gotten into it now. Since Thanksgiving, if y'all caught another video, I'd heard LaChina James say he was no longer a Cowboy fan since Jerry had pointed out again. You know, if you kneel on the side of on our sidelines, you're fired, bitch. And so I was like, well, if LaChina James is rejecting them, then by God, I'll give them another try. And actually, it's I knew nothing about what was going on or what anything was with them until I started watching them Thanksgiving Day, and just so happens they're winning. So, yeehaw, we'll see. But for today, we've got some very cool pay dirt from a YouTube viewer. Has his own channel. He's pushing about 300 and it's 375. So I will be leaving a link in the description to check him out, and we'll have to get to that. Non-disclosure. I guess it's already on the title. So yeah, Home Zoo, Dan Home Zoo. So I forget in chronology where we go for this. Yeah, it's on the title. You already know. But a big shout out to JP's Bar, JP's Lawns and More. I was on his live stream last Saturday night. Really enjoyed that. Thank you, JP. That was a lot of fun. Apologies to Gold Eagle. I was going to try to get on yours on Friday, and I just didn't ever make it home and try to get mine out by then. So maybe this weekend I was on, brother. We'll see. I'll get a hold of you and try again. But again, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. So without further ado, let's turn to our new gold epicenter and Cowboy Central of South Louisiana, our table, and here we go. And our board is up. You may notice there is a label missing now. So we have this Enjoy Bayou Gold Guy 0.50 with relics, and he's got his label on the back there, and he'd also sent me. I've got another one in there, but there he is on the board, and you may notice though we have something different on the table today. And these are my two pans that I had won from Mike Vendetta on the Prospectors Ball for the best food trophy. Thank you so much again for that. And I'd messaged him saying, you know what, do I see? I figured I need to season this one. Do you season this is that Falcon, the Falcon pan, cleanup pan, and then this one is the MINELAB Pro Gold pan. And he said, season the hell out of this one. Do not touch this one. So what I do whenever I do mine, I start out with using the 60 grit and worked it up. Gave it some good striations with that. Then I go with the finer my emery cloth plumbing sanding, and that adds the real fine striations. Work the little riffles there, and then I finished off. That's why it's dirty, with some Gold Bay rocks and roughed it up. And then I went back with my fine and took off the rough edges of that. So now we've got striations, but we're pretty smooth. And we are going to be breaking in this one with trying it out on our, there's my new snuffer bottle that came with that, as well as there's a headlamp inside. And I just did a little short on this, showing the season of, because I never do enough shorts for gold. And of course, in true Vendetta and John R. Prospecting style, we had to throw some gold in there. So yeah, there's some Vendetta. There's my big Vendetta nugget and some gold nugget sales nuggets. But just listen. Can you hear the sound of that gold rattling? You have to have big pieces of gold to get that rattle out of it, that metal rattle. So very cool. So all right, I'm looking forward to trying this out, and then maybe turn into our finishing pan to look for the small stuff. And again, this is a home zoo, but I had to point out I forgot when I did the mail call. I received in my 2 new Vendetta stickers, and you can see here's one that's the new style on it with the sluice, and then there is one that's the metallic shine finish on it, but beautiful there, Vendetta Prospecting. And then there's your Vendetta symbols and your pick and axe or pick and shovels. So awesome. Those will go. It just happened. We have an opening on the board, as you saw. So we'll be adding those on very happily. Very cool. Thank you, Mike, for that. We'll show them. I was going to show them whenever we do the Vendetta Gazette, but I wanted to at least point those out because like I said, I had forgotten that. So, all right. Well, let us get into our Home Zoo bag here. He had made this up for me. Actually, we were watching him. It's been from a couple of months ago now, easily, I guess. But he was working. He was working a boulder that they were digging out, working around. They finally, had to come along, jack that thing over. It was a real ordeal getting to the. Okay, I think I may need to. This is a good seal. This ain't no Dan Hurd crap here. He does it. This man does it right. Okay. Watch out, man. Get people fired up again. And actually, nobody got fired up except for, yeah, that's right, Dan Turd. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Hold on. All right, let's go with the deep cut here. Cool bag. I like that silver bag. See, now I probably cut it down too low. There we go. All right. Whoa, look at there, boys. There's stuff popping as soon as you open it up. All right. Well, let's move to our wider pan here and just see what comes out on us. So there's the first thing. Yeah. Where's my eyes? Don't have them out here with me right now. Let's see if we can zoom in on what this one says. It's a quarter. I can see that. Liberty. I'm looking on the wrong side for date. Uh, 2003. So I don't know anything about these, but okay, it's a quarter. Cool. And then there's a nice piece of quartz rock. Oh, hold on. Looks like a nice piece of quartz rock there. There's another nice. Looks like a conglomerate where that stuff's stuck in different pieces of quartz. Very cool looking though. Check that out. The detail. We're gonna go through this very closely. Oh, there's something else that popped up. We'll have to wet this stuff down to see. It's a penny. It looks like a wheat penny, maybe. 1910. I'm seeing 1910 on whatever that is. We'll put that to the side. Oh, back out. Looks like I'm seeing some black. Oh, I guess that's looks like a strap. A strap belt from an old tether or something. You can see where it spikes in there to grab. I'm guessing that's from some metal detecting. Oh, another very cool. So we'll get all that wet and wash it down. Oh, piece there. A marble, very cool marble. Check that out. Or a bead. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's a marble or. Yeah, I think it's a marble. Damn, there's another. What's this? This is. What does it say? Green River whiskey. Found 889 GGP 8809. So he's had that for a little while. I guess it was found in the Whiskey River. Green River. I'm not sure what. Green River whiskey. Again, I'm not sure what. I'm just not a coin person as far as know anything about them. I know I used to have a jar full of nothing but wheat pennies that probably had like $6 or $8 worth of them. So, all right, well, there we go. There is our material there. Let's get. We'll go ahead and classify this down. It's a dry, sandy material, as you can see. We'll be looking through that closer to. There's another. Oh, check that out. a little elephant. There you go. Like I said, we'll be going through this with the fine tooth comb. And there's another little coin that popped up. The 1 cent. Like I said, we'll see when we get it wet. If we can tell more about it. Oh, there's one we missed from the other one when I dumped it out. A dime. And that is a 1961. That's the year I was born. So that's cool. Thank you so much. I guess that means it's got a little silver in it. Get our water set up, and we'll be back. Let's start out by getting these wet and checking out our rocks here. We got our jet dry added, so we're good with that. But yeah, boy, when it's wet, you can really see all that quartz crystals. But this is definitely some very fractured looking stuff. Awesome looking rocks, though. Very nice. I'd be interested to put that in the tumbler. I mean, there's our there's our elephant. That's very cool. It has multiple meanings in this one. Compared for we can slide him over there and set him up next to our man. Our car. Look at there, Carson. There you go. We got a sidekick now for Lego Trump. Very cool. Thanks so much, Dan. I really appreciate that. I know why he included that little find in there. Like I said, very awesome. So, and then like our little buff hinge, and still couldn't really make out what that was, unless it's some kind of a whiskey. Like I said, whiskey, Green River whiskey. If that's like from a casino or I'm just not sure. Leave a comment if you would in that one. I know he may be in the live chat while we're watching this. Sometimes he can make it. Very, very, very often he does. So, and then our 1961 dime. So, all right, and our marble. There we go. Okay, well, let's kick off using our new pan here. It already seems to me like you got a little less panning area, and it doesn't have like these. You can see where it has that groove that drops down and frames off almost as a first riffle on these pans, whereas this one, the riffle starts at right here at the top on the first one. This is all very smooth edged all the way around. So And like I said, it'll be a different kind of pan to handle. A panhandler. I'm not a new panhandler so much, as they say. I'm used to my green what you call them here. The in the name on it, I thought they were just Garrett's, the green Garrett pan, but so let's dump us in some of our fine material here. And break in the new pan. Oh, look at that black sand. There's black sand and gold already holding back there. And those are some deep riffles on these, as opposed to, you can see that the pan just has very, very small, not even maybe 32nd of an inch rises on them for the little, just as something to restrain it. And then your main riffle is at the very bottom of the pan where it meets. So I'm not sure. I don't know I assume that this style should have some kind of advantage in gold recovery. It's definitely a solid pan. I don't like it whenever they have those pans that are like just hard plastic. I don't even like the sound of them, of stuff on them. It just sounds too cheap. You want one of these tough injected plastics that has some flexibility to it, but stays rigid. That's what I like. Yeah, I think we'll be breaking out that new Falcon, trying it out when we get down to this black sand of this one, because it looks like we have a pretty good amount of black sand. From Home Zoo. It's funny, you check out his videos. He has deer and bear and any number of wildlife, that fawns that show up around his place, and they all seem very content to hang out. Of course, if you've seen the critters, Christmas critters, are actually bayou critters, but yeah, I mean, literally right at that's where they're sitting there lined up at the door, and I got it open. There's like whatever that is, 8 inches from being in the kitchen with me. The possums and coons and assorted little feral, half feral, and just homeless guys from Hurricane Ida. And so that legacy continues here. Of course, we're nothing. I'm nothing like compared to what Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting has going up there in Colorado with his Four Paws Colorado charity they take care of veterans animals when they have to go out on serving their time, or if they're sadly lost and they have to be relocated, or just like I said, any number of anything they can do to help the veterans and servicemen with their pets as well. He's got the wolf rescue going on up there. Very, very cool stuff. He's about to be kicking off his channel. A little more coming up here, and he's going to have some really cool stuff going on. The question is just going to be if he has time to actually record it and make videos out of it. You seeing those gold flakes are showing up there? There's definitely a different wash action to it as well, without having that lip separating where it contacts the bottom of the pan going up the side. Like I said, that like you see on that one, that actually acts as a, it kind of changes the flow of the water for sure. I mean, in a subtle way, nothing terribly drastic, but it does vary the hydrodynamic qualities of the pan. No mistaking that gold showing up right there. Hopefully the noise suppression on this mic is working full like it's supposed to today, because there's nothing but trucks and brakes hissing behind me, whatever they're doing on the street next one over behind me. But if it was in the front, at least it'd be blocked by the house more. But yeah, this is like coming straight in from the backyard. Fortunately, there's a house between us, so that does. But this mic does seem to help break up and not eliminate any, especially whenever I'm talking or there's a prevalent already a sound that it's engaged in, listening to. It does not pick up the peripheral background sounds very much at all. All right, we've got some nice little chunky, neat shaped gold there. I'm seeing. One looks like a little shrimp there that I was seeing, depending on how it's turned, I guess. But all right, very nice. Our first catch of the day, and we're gonna break out our brand new Garrett Gold Guzzler from courtesy Mike Vendetta Prospecting, and once again the Prospector's Ball. And those people won pay dirts on it. So this was a really, I mean, it was a really, he chose they picked the winners, and then they matched up prizes to match after for your name. And so it was random. Anybody could have won it. So I was very fortunate to win a very cool, like I said, I had never gotten another pan since I had gotten my first two and my super sluice. So very cool. All right. Well, that's breaking in the pan. Can't really didn't see too much difference on. Like I said, it's deeper. I'm not sure what maybe if you're out on the stream and you need the deeper pan to hold more material to go through, you don't want to quite use the super sluice. This is something more manageable because this thing, when you load it up with with gravel and stuff, you're talking about holding a pad that's 15 or 16 pounds, shake and rattle. It's that's tough. So all right, well, I'm going to go with about, let's see, that much more. We got. So I'm getting down to the bottom of another pan full of black sand. I realized that we had not done our basic. I mean, you could see the stuff, the black in the sand, but check that shit out. That is a mass of black sand right there, my friends. Man, I have to actually scrape a handful of it off the magnet to be able to break it free. That's how much it anchored that bolt down in there. But check that out. That is some cool material there. That's why you got to work it down. Very nice. I'll definitely be retrieving that to add to my bag when we're done. Right now we're going to put it up back in and mix it up in our stuff. Keep it natural as it came. I wonder what we've already got in the pan here. I bet we've got a nice little cluster just from what we've done. There you go. Hell, there's some bags that you get that much in there, it makes to make it tough. that's just from the two pans that I've done. I've still got half of the black sand from the pan that I'm doing right now in there. So yeah, that's some, and it's pretty clean. You can see it's not hard to see through. Well, there we go. We got some nice little chunks there, and then some fine pieces. So it's tough. It's tough to get it out of there. What's that stuff? Well, you got to be patient. So very pretty gold though. Nice shine to it. It stands out very nicely. So we're gonna continue on. I just wanted to show this this pan that I just put last one I put in. I pulled the magnetics. Look how much was in that one little scoop I put in there, just to see how much of that black was magnetite and how much of it was hematite, because it was holding pretty tight up there, tighter than just regular magnetite tends to. So, and as you can see, that is a good amount of hematite that's it's holding up there. So yeah, it has a good mix of the heavies, both magnetic and non-magnetic. So you can pull out some of it, but you can't pull out all of it. So there we've got a nice, that we hit a little vein on that scoop that we put in, because that's that's a nice little string of gold. Very nice, Home Zoo. Thank you, sir. I'm enjoying this. All right, on this one, I ended up getting a bunch of the black sand that I had just looked at and put back in from the magnet was sitting on top, and a lot of it went in this pan at one time. So that's what I was sitting here trying to figure out. At what point do you move it to this pan when I've got it in this pan? Because once I've got it washed down, I'll suck my gold out. Then I go back through those tailings and find anything that might have escaped. And if I need to dump that out to transfer it to this pan, or just I don't know. It doesn't seem practical to swap back and forth pans whenever when you're going through your stuff. But you can see there's still a lot of black sand in this one. So I may have too much material in this for what we're wanting to do with it. Man, I got interrupted here. I had to call my first sale went through on a house. That house, they finally signed the papers. The one I'm building the fence on, actually. I was already building the fence. I was telling him, if this doesn't go through, you guys are just gifting the landlord here a free fence, and you're still going to have to move. And, but yeah, the old lady signed, and I need advice from Lieutenant Immelman over there. Peter, I know you've probably dealt with some old German ladies. She's 81 years old, a bit crotchety to say the least. Uh, but so yeah, that's pretty cool. That's actually like I said, they were just saying today how we wouldn't be buying this if it weren't for you. So that I basically got them all lined back up to get it done. So that was pretty cool. And my landlord's giving me a month's worth of rent off for it, so that's cool. So I wouldn't, like I said, it wasn't my intention. All right, I'm going to keep going through this because this is going to take a while to get down what I have. All right, well, we are down to the bottom of our handful of that black sand. That took a while, but I guess it's nice having a wider, flat area to wash. You can, spread out the flows, I guess, easier maybe with a bigger area. It's not that much larger than the, I mean, it is a bit more than the green pan, but it's not really anything. I just don't really see anything advantageous for me about it. I tend to count, this is, none of this has any real, I'm not seeing yet, we're not at the bottom, but I'm not seeing any flower gold yet. And that's what I count on, those small striations in my pan to hang on to and to cling, and not like a swipe like that that I just washed over would wash away flower gold. Maybe if you just keep it very flat and level, where you're just barely making any motion like that, that's what the point of this is. But like I said, I can do the same thing with my green pan, and it's easier basically to control because it's smaller. But I mean, I like this, but I don't think it's really anything that I need. There's some beautiful gold, some nice. There's a nice little chunky here that it's got the little tink tink sound on that one. That's a little chunker piece. If we can get, there, we go. Got the little character in it. Looks like a little bumper car almost. So, all right, very cool. But I said it's cool to have one, and can always use more holding pans for sure. So same thing with this one. I'm I mean, it's okay. I think it's for what I do. I like my green pan better. It's easier to handle. You don't have to grip so far down into it. Keep for balance and stuff, for me at least. But again, it's another good holding pan, and it's cool to have won it and to have them. So I'm I think I'm going to go back and test now and see that I've done that a few with that pan. How it feels about going back to the old. It may just be because I'm you know, used to this, and then the feeling hand. But again, the same way, the way your hand is able to sit underneath it and support it as your thumb rests on it, instead of having to grip on this one like you've got it, or a wider grip on your hand holding it like that, where again, that's not a comfortable grip. So you want to hold it like that, so you're basically pinching. And again, I'm just not, maybe if you're I said, working on the stream or something, and you're doing larger amounts where you can or you're using two hands. I don't know. But no, I'm happy right here with these guys. And the other thing was, it seemed to me when I was doing it, the glare as I would catch this would make it was harder to see on the lighter pan than it was with the dark background on it, because it's like looking in a mirror on that, as opposed to having a blacked out surface or a greened out surface behind. So if that makes any sense. For me, just all the way around, visibility, comfort of holding it. These are the best pans I think that I can use for sure. But again, I thank Mike Vendetta for the great prize, and I've been anxious to want to try the blue pan, or not anxious, but I've been interested to see what it was. So we'll definitely be giving it some tries on the fine golds and such. I'll see what. Leave a comment in the section. I know a lot of you guys use those and really like the Falcon pans. I know they're a sought after pan to have, and any MINELAB pan is known to be good quality. So well, all right, there we have our I finished off the last bit, double panned it together, so we ended up with a nice pile of flakes there in little chunks for our less than kitchen strainer size. Beautiful gold. A lot of black sand. Look at that black sand in there. Well, y'all saw it on the magnet. Doesn't get much clearer than that. All right, now let's move up to our gravelies. Some very cool material. So anytime you've got those, I love those pieces of quartz like that. You always want to check, because you'll find pyrite or gold, little protrusions sticking out of it sometimes. Especially if it's coming from Carson or, yeah, from Carson. Or Vendetta, yeah. Or I knew there was another one, Vendetta or Carson, because Mike had sent me a vial the first, when I sent for the 50th video bag that he'd sent. And it was just a vial just of those little chunks of quartz with the little veins and strips of gold. It's just so, it was so awesome. Just thrown in there extra, you know. Very nice. I need to get another pirate booty bag just because it's got so much good material in it, and I've gone through so much doing the, yeah, look at that stuff showing up there. It's good looking material that Home Zoo's digging out. This ought to go a little easier now with our remaining, since we're not loaded up with the magnetite and hematite in this stuff now. That was a good amount of heavies there. We still got a little bit in here, but just enough to finish you off, to give you a little something to slow you down at the end. Those black, I don't know if those black pieces there are, if that's hematite or magnetite. I almost have gold there too, but that's just a rock. But it looks like gold for that angle, doesn't it? Let's see, is this magnetic? No. So that may be hematite chunks, which is very cool. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. Those are all chunks of hematite there hanging at the top. So, all right. Well, that's nothing on that one. We'll go through and I'll catch up with you at the end if I find something else cool popping up. Again, another one of those cool quartz pieces. We see some shining there, like from some pyrite maybe, or mica. So, all right, we're back. We're at the bottom of this one, and we have some flakes of gold, some little chunks of gold there, but also you see that rock that was hanging up there at the top was not washing away with the gold. And it looks like, you might see, it looks like there's a bit of shine in part of those corners, because it's holding, like it's, you know, like when it doesn't take much gold to add density to it to want it to hold up there with the other pieces. So I'm giving that one the benefit of the doubt till we can get in and look at it, look at it closer. But I believe that's some little bits of gold poking around that rock. Pick it up. Nope, it's too big. All right. Well, I thought we'd give the new pan one more shot with the, be fair here, I didn't do any of the bigger material with it, so see how that handles with that. Yeah, again, it's just that wider grip for the hand. Like I said, I do have my fingers underneath it here, the edges, and my fingers, you know, I'm not having to grip it too much like that. I can balance most of it on the top, but I just like my green better. I think that it's more comfortable. It's a more comfortable pan to hold. I have to give a shout out to John R. Prospecting. I've been having a little fun at his expense. If y'all have seen the last couple of shorts I put out with the sledgehammer, he actually hurt his hand. He'd mentioned it on the. Actually, he was in the chat. He was at the hospital for it. Actually, on the night of the chat, on the Friday night show, And fortunately, it wasn't too bad. But that's what he had caught it with a maul, trying to work on something at work. You know, when they were doing those presses and shit. But yeah, I had contacted him before I posted it and told him I had made it, and then I was going to do one whenever he said, "Yeah, well, man, but what about nail on a nail?" So this was the last one. Was, I tell you, it's crazy though how those shorts play out on one of the channels I've watched talking about shorts, saying that sometimes it'll take 24 to 48 hours for your short to take off, and this and that. All the ones that I posted, if it's not up to 500 in the first 2 minutes, then it's not going to be one that breaks 1,000 or 1,200 probably. The one that I did with the cookies, it's the highest I've gotten, which was like 6,500 or 6,200, whatever. But it was same thing. It builds up, runs for about 40 minutes, and then it drops to nothing. Whether it's racking them up at 100 views for every 8 second, because it's you watch it on the live count. I've got where I watch them. It's kind of cool watching the numbers climb in live real time, and but same thing, whether it's climbing, reaching 2,000 or reaching 6,000, at that 40 minute, 50-minute mark or so, it tapers off to where it's down to 1, 2, 10 views per cycle. And I just don't get what the algorithm works, how the algorithm works on that to get them either to explode or to flare up and burn out. But I've never had any 24 or 48 hours after they were posted that that did anything past what they had done in the first hour, 2 hours, which is really pretty bizarre, I think. And it's like, dude, where's your information on that? Because that just does not sound right to me, from what I know from my experience. So we've got some. I'm not sure if that's gold or what that is. I mean, it's in this light out here. I was thinking it was looking more like it was a pyrite, but I think that is our gold there. It's gotten dark. I've gotten detained a couple of times now doing this. Started out, we were in the mid 70s, and it's clouds have moved in. And it's gotten down to the lower 70s now. We were 80 yesterday when I was doing the damn fencing. Yeah, and the camera, hell yeah! Like, I hadn't looked at the camera. There we go. In the light of the camera, it looks a lot brassier or more pewter. So very nice little finale for our. Look at that. There's a Where is it? Where is it? Track it down there. Looks like a little nugget to me. Very cool. And I was looking at some of the smart pieces. It's got a lot of definition. Like that piece, that little piece there is just, it just amazes me how gold consistently maintains its character, whether it's a micro piece or a piece that's 10 times that size. It could look exactly the same. It maintains its character at all sizes down to micro size from what I've seen. So, all right, well, let's get that snuffered up. And again, nothing particularly jumped out at me about using this pan, other than, like I said, I like mine. I like the shallower green, easier to hold. So it'll be a backup or a holder for sure. And somebody might be contacting me about how to use it right. Then it might make a difference. But all right, well, thank you so much, Home Zoo, for that. That was just awesome, my friend. We've got our relics. Let's dump out our snuffer bottle here. So, Home Zoo, is this some of the gold from under your boulder? that you worked so hard to roll over and get access to? Because like I said, I'm honored. I'm honored at anyway, brother, for the awesome bag. Like I said, I particularly like our. I mean, and again, I've told you guys before, I'm in no way connected to the Republican Party except through that man right there. That's right, the Lego man. It's I think they're as pathetic and useless as the other side for sure. But when you gotta start somewhere. America First Party is already making a difference, so that's something right there. So we take our battles where we can win them. So, all right, look at that. That is a beautiful pile of gold there. I'll be editing out the 45 seconds it took me to get this thing to zoom in. But there we have a beautiful pile of gold. And we'll check that rock a little closer when we get in the house. But I believe we've definitely got our half a gram. Nice pieces. So let's get it sucked up and dried out and check it out. We are in the house now with our dried gold from Home Zoo and Prospecting. And I took out the loop and checked it out, and that is just quartz that was on that rock. It was there was no gold that I could see on it. It just held close. It held with the gold up at the top of the pan until the end, and wet. It did have a gold look to it, but it is not. But there is our gold, and you can see we've got some nice little chunks and some beautiful little pieces with very nice character to them. So we will get that. So let's pull this little one out of the way. We got our scale calibrated. We'll see if we recovered our half gram he included in this. I went through my tailings today. I used the blue pen again for that, the MINELAB. And yeah, it's a speck of dirt. Okay. I do like the deep riffles in that pan for sure. We had one that jumped it. So I think 0.600. I believe we got everything plus. So very nice. Thank you so much, Dan. And then we've got our pan full of our relics, our very cool quartz stones. So that one there's got some really nice detail in the. Looked a little better when it was wet, but you can see dry how it's separated and like I said, it seems to be broken up and rejoined, and then that piece there that's got the very nice look to it. So our coins, our elephant. So just some neat stuff there for sure. A very fun pay dirt to do. It was like I said, it was a real challenge getting through all that black sand. I've pulled out a bunch and have it drying right now for to go in my collection. Well, let's just get us a little look here at this gold. It is some pretty stuff. And like I said, we got some nice shiny pieces. We have some darker pieces there. Very bright gold. So nice little addition to the hoard. I'll say that. I think that's our piece that looked like a bumper car out in the sun from whatever angle I was looking at that one at. But like I said, they look different every time you flip them around or change them up, move them over. So That is some really pretty stuff. Again, thank you so much, Home Zoo. That is some lovely, lovely gold. Well, I guess that will do it for this episode of Bayou Gold Guy. I have been your host, Bayou Gold Guy, and I hope you enjoyed seeing this very cool pay dirt from Home Zoo Prospecting. Really, thank you so much again, my friend, for sending that. He also had won one of the last giveaways. He'd won one of the vials with the gold in it. So I went ahead and had put in a bigger chunk, added beefed up his vial for that because I knew I'd already gotten this bag in, but I haven't been able to. I was running out of material, so I'm still going to be making you up a pay dirt bag, my friend. There's several that are on the list. It's going to be it'll probably be a little down the road here a bit, but it will be coming to you. And thank you again. Thank you all for watching, supporting the channel, subscribing. The number of subscriptions have been bumping up there, so that's very cool. We'll be pushing 7 here pretty quick, I think. So just onward and upward. That's the only way to roll. And again, thank you for the wonderful channels that continue to send stuff on the channel. I'd gotten a message. I saw one message from a viewer that said that they had dealt with Reggie Neighbors before, and that they had been that it had been made it good. But then I saw another message saying that one of my subscribers and the viewers that have the channel has still never received his stuff from Reggie Neighbors. So I was not correct whenever, from what I understood from everything everyone had been taken care of. Apparently that is not the case. So again, if you encounter these people, do not engage with them. That's kind of a good, if you don't know who you're dealing with, on a more personal level on YouTube. Most people that I deal with, if you're getting something from me or you're buying something from me, where there's an exchange of phone numbers, they'll call to make sure that I am the person they're going to send money to, or anything like that, which is just a good precaution to have. And these are people that have been, my channel's been on for over a year and a half. So it's it's a little more security as well as the other channels like that. When someone, we're probably not going to be ripping you off, alienating customers and ripping people off and trying to do a channel. It's so again, it's if it's someone that is not in the mainstream on YouTube or that you're familiar with, other than seeing them on other channels, then I would unless you have a list of people that have dealt with them that say, these, I've known this guy for a while and he's good. Be cautious and just take it that you are rolling the dice. So I know it sucks to have to work that way, but that's just life. And like I said before, it's a big boat full of holes, but we're all in it together. And until the next time, as I said, this is Bayou Gold Guy saying, take care of each other and peace out, my friends.